It is going to be 115 today. We're not going to let that stop us. We are heading out to an Indian demo ride event. We're going to try some bikes out.
Let's see if I can sneak in the back way here. Well, looks like we made it. This looks like a motorcycle training class. Good job, guys.
He knows where to find those, so we're getting it set up. But yeah, we got the aprons, and yeah, so we'll have to have you sign. We're not officially open until 9 a.m. So that's why we're not set up yet. 15 minutes. I don't know. We're getting it set up. So hey,
Well, the guy was asking the same question I was. I'm early, I knew that. I just wanted to know where it was. I didn't see the big Indian trailer, so we will endeavor to persevere.
right, well, we have made it to the demo portion of it. Took them a little bit to get it together, but got to talk to some very friendly people. Let's take out our first victim here. 25 Sport Chief RT. It has the upgraded intake, has the intake tune, a Pisani exhaust, comes with Brembo brakes and the bags. Sport Chief line, or the Chief line, because I didn't have the best experience last spring. I want to see how these actually work out with my full attention paid to them.
All right, power on. If you don't know, on Indians, you have to turn the power on and hit start. Right off the bat, the ergonomics are definitely much better. I am tilted a little bit forward. But I think that's more of the setup here. Usually I have to put risers on or something like that. So. It is pretty comfortable, and they said this wasn't the premium seat to go with this RT. They suggested the stock seat that comes with it, but it seems pretty comfortable for this seating position and this just whole ergonomic riding position. This is the 116. On my Springfield I have the 111. I like the paint scheme on this. It's got a metal flake silver, black stripe, and it's pretty nice. And the 116 definitely has a marked difference between the 116 and the 111. Of course, there's a big power to weight ratio difference between this and my Springfield. Like I mentioned earlier, is to ride all these Chiefs. This has pegs, but they're forward control pegs. I'm going to try the Super Chief with the floorboards, which is not the direction I was going in. I want to retry the Sport Chief with the mid controls, which I had the most trouble with the last time. Interested in is a lighter bike in addition to the Springfield. So I've owned a Bonneville, I've owned all kinds of different bikes, and my thoughts are going back to a Bonneville T120, something like that. But not certain that that's a better or that much different than my T100, and I really like that bike and kind of don't want to wreck the experience I had with that by getting something similar in the exact same thing. This would be different enough from the Springfield and a little bit more sporty enough that it would be different and give me something I can just jump on and ride around the neighborhood kind of thing. Not that it would be relegated to that. Really like this. I think it needs a better tune. It's got the air cleaner tune. I think you probably need to put some type of exhaust tune on it because it is popping. But yes, I'm very much more impressed with the Chief, riding this Chief RT. This may be the bike for me.
Okay, victim number 2 is the Sport Chief. I think that's the last Sport Chief I'm going to do. I think that's this comparison. I really like the RT. I think that was a pretty nice choice there. So I want to see how the mids versus the forwards go. So this is a stock 2025 Sport Chief. You can see it's very similar to the RT. The RT had some mods on it. It has more glossy paint compared to the matte that's on the regular Sport Chief. So here's my comparison. So you've got the forward controls on this. I'm not interested in looking at the floorboards because that's going to be so much more like my Springfield. So you got the forward controls versus the mids, and this is what I had trouble with so much. So when you put your leg down, they were like right mid calf on me and wouldn't allow me to get my foot down quickly enough. And I'm just really anal about that kind of thing. So we'll see how this one goes today.
Did one do the Scout Classic also?
Scout Classic and then a Power Plus.
Power Plus? Okay. Any specific Power Plus?
Whatever's easy. I was thinking just one of the new Roadmaster ones. Not Roadmaster, Chieftain.
Chieftain? Okay,
Yeah.
I do have a Chieftain Power Plus. And it's in the 112.
Awesome, thank you.
Okay.
Everybody's been very helpful here today. Okay. So sitting on it, the seat height seems just a touch lower than the RT. Now let's see, power her up. May have been just a little bit too early with that. That's not good. There we go. All right, so already I'm feeling a little bit better about these controls. I've got my shin behind them. That works out a little bit better. We'll see the bar to peg ratio. Yeah, getting my foot on the peg is a little bit iffy. So from start, trying to get my knees are way above my hips. So I get the seating position a little bit more this time. Definitely I would need some risers or something on the handlebars. I'm not an 8-hanger guy. not feeling a whole lot of performance difference. I mean, we're only going on a little test ride here, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of performance difference between this bike and the modded out RT. The other one was definitely louder, but I'm more of a sound quality guy these days, and I don't think I've ever really been a huge, as loud as you can go exhaust guy, although I've had open headers before. Yeah, this 117 does rip. All about torque. But yeah, I'm a little bit more used to this. I'm not a fan of where the brake is. I'd have to mess around with that brake pedal a little bit. They always come from the dealership, not in my perfect position anyway. I think I'm gonna take the same track I took last time, but fit and finish on these things are real nice. I've one of the things I was been impressed with the Indian bikes are real nice fit and finish. I don't think this one's been run yet, so it's probably needs to be set up by the service department. I'm thinking it's got a little bit of stumble at idle. But I am actually enjoying this bike. It's night and day difference between the last one I rode. The last one I rode had weird taller bars on it, and it just didn't go with the bike. Now I can get my feet down in the proper positions. But the ride's real nice too. I mean, it's nice, stiff enough, but not too stiff. Similar to the RT. Feels real good. I mean, and man, it just, there's no fork dive. I know the Scouts get beat up for poor suspension, but if you set up a Scout rear suspension properly with the right air pressure, those things ride real nice. So I mean, they're no touring bike, but that's not their purpose. But yeah, I definitely am impressed by these Chiefs now. It's kind of hesitant, but it's more going to be on my more on my game plan here for the future. I'm not going to mention anything about the electronics or stuff. I have not been educated on that. I'm not an electronics guy. If you guys have followed this channel, less is more for me. But yes, thumbs up to both Chiefs. I think I'm going to switch over to a Scout this time and give that as comparison to the Chiefs, and then just out of willy-nilly looking at one of the new Power Plus 112s, which would be really cool. They said they had one in the Chieftain format, which is a little more my style. I don't really like fairings and windshields and stuff, but I think that'd be cool. Okay, the next one up is indeed a Scout. This is the new 101 Scout, and this is in classic. This is what I like. I'm not a huge fan of the bobber deal. What's that?
Which one do you like so far?
All of them.
That's my favorite.
I really, out of the Chiefs, I think that's probably the one.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
I would get a little bit bigger bars.
Yep.
They're on backward right now, but a higher rise, actually, not bars.
Sure.
And that's my favorite build in the whole sport.
Yeah, that's real nice. So this is a Scout just like I had before. I had a blue and white one. If you look at my channel, there's videos of that bike. Has the same basic fender, but it's a whole new frame and whole new motor. This is the 101. It's got more horsepower. If I think about looking it up, I will put that on here. But let's get the ride impression on this. I want to kind of compare this to a bike that I kind of know and is new to one of the Scouts, or one of the Chiefs. So the Scout has a key, just like the old Scouts. Alrighty. It feels very similar in just about all ways to my old Scout. So the OG original Scouts from what, 2016 to 2023 or 2024? 24, I think. The full-size Scouts is what I had before. And this feels very much like it. Actually feels maybe even just a touch lighter. It is a lot quieter, but I bought it used, so the exhaust system that came on it was a Vance & Hines, so that would shake the plates in the dining room when I started up in the garage. So it's hard to tell. I can't tell you what the stock system is on the original Chief versus this, but this is fairly quiet. I would want to upgrade the exhaust to a slip-on, or at least a slip-on, something like that. The Chiefs and the Springfield that I have excellent sounding sound quality exhaust systems. I would not change the one on my Springfield. Well, at this point I wouldn't, but you never know what the future brings. Everybody says these Scouts are not built for larger people, and this is the whole chick bike thing. I think like Sportsters get and Dynas get and all that stuff. And I'm 6'1". Right now I'm about 260 pounds, and this bike fits me just fine. So didn't my old Scout. That was a fun bike. If I could have kept that along with my Bonneville and probably 25 other bikes, I would have, but there's only so much room in the garage and only so many dineros and only so much patience my wife has. This has, compared to the Chiefs, or the 110 or 117s, I don't know what this guy is doing. It has more of a linear power delivery, but plenty of it. I mean, these are super fun bikes, super fun bikes. The only limitation, and I don't know that this one has cured it or not, this version, but my OG Scout hit hard parts really, really quickly. That was its only limitation. So my thoughts are, if you are on the fence about buying a new Scout versus old Scout, whatever your, figure out what your budget is and get what you can afford. But I would, if you can afford one, go with the new one. The old ones are just great. They're a fantastic motorcycle. But if you are leaning towards a new one and you've got the money for it and that's what you want, it is a very similar experience on the bike. I haven't, of course I'm on a test loop and I can't really tell you 100%, but the power difference is not that great of a difference. It's great power delivery, but it's just not anything that's going to really hugely jump out at you. Fine motorcycle. I would recommend this. This is a bike that you could probably buy as a novice and keep it the rest of your motorcycle career, depending on how many miles you put on it. And from what I understand, these things can pack on some miles. Not that everybody does that. But yes, this is making me want my old Scout back. But this has the fender, the longer fender, and larger front fender versus the other in the Scout lineup. The only thing I wish that they could have done was, with all the lineup, they've got limited paint versions available for these bikes, so you have to get into the bobbers and all that stuff to get better paint. So that was the 2025 Scout 101. Awesome bike, thumbs up, 100%.
How was that one?
Thank you. That was a lot like the OG Scouts. Same kind of power delivery and everything. I like it. I miss my old Scout. That was nice.
Just that a little bit more power is always a little nice.
Yep, absolutely. So next up is the Power Plus 112 Indian Chieftain. This is one it's not in my game plan or anything like that, but I was really interested to see what these water-cooled big bore bikes were like, and moving it into the Chieftain lineup I think was a great idea. I just really wanted to give it a try just out of morbid curiosity. These are just super nice looking bikes, and I think moving on to the water-cooled world is probably a good idea, the way things are in the natural world of motorcycling these days. Again, I'm not an electronics guy, so I'm not going to comment on the dashboard or anything like that. I'm not a radio guy or anything, so you'll have to rely on other people for that. So, Power Plus 112 Chieftain. Let me kick up that. So same deal, you've got to press the power button, and then you got to press the start button. And you only have to momentarily press it on all these bikes, no matter what Indian you're riding. It's just a momentary start. You don't have to hold it down like most other bikes do. Exhaust sound is pretty darn nice. Okay. I am not used to driving with a dashboard, so bear with me. The floorboards seem to be just about in the same position as my Springfield. Come on there, fella. Whoa. There is no heel toe shifter. It's all toe shifter, but you can rectify that for about $100. The whoa was, man, this thing has got some serious power. I'll put the power specs up. It's something like 125 horsepower and I don't know, a whole bunch of torque. 140 foot-pounds of torque, something like that. Well, you'll see it on the screen. But man, just a super, this is more comfortable seating position than probably in my Springfield. I would certainly love to get this out on the interstate because that's just kind of where this thing shines. Transmissions on these Indians are very nice. They snick right into gear. The Springfield has more of a bank vault, old school V-twin clunk, but it's solid and it's right there. It's not ambiguous at all. This one here has more. This Power Plus 112 has more of a sophisticated snick into the gear. So if you've ridden motorcycles a lot, you probably might know what I'm talking about. But it's just that little click, and it's right in gear. It's positive. You know you're in gear. You can feel it. Very, very nice transmission. Nice looking bike. And this fairing doesn't bother me too much. It looks like it is in the way up position, and I don't see a way to see a button to make it go down. But this has a power windshield. Yeah, I don't see the button for it. Fit and finish on this is definitely nice Indian quality. They do a really good job on their controls and their dashboards, and all their tins and stuff like that are top notch. I like having the analog gauges. That's just kind of my old school thought process. I've expanded this ride one more block. I wanted to get the full ride in on this one because it is super nice. Well balanced. It just feels really nice. I mean, coming up to there, I was really not in a hurry to put my foot down, and I mean, it just stayed right up, nice and balanced, and into the corner. It doesn't fall into the corner. It just kind of gently leans into the corner. You don't have to force it. Yeah, I'd like to take this for a nice long-term test. I hope I haven't taken the wrong turn. Yeah, I think the roundabout's coming up here. I don't know. I'm officially in a stop and go shopping mall parking lot, and it's kind of a true test of one of these behemoths is how well do they handle in stop and go really low speed. Low speed conditions, and I'm having no problem whatsoever. Or I had no problem whatsoever. I'm back out on the street, so really can't say enough about this thing. It's not in my projection of motorcycle purchases, but I'm really impressed with this. I really wanted to ride one, see what these new water-cooled Power Plus 112 motors were like, and I do have to say that was just an awesome test ride on this thing. I am not sponsored by Indian or this dealership, GOAZ Motorcycles. They just had motorcycles that you could ride for free, and they were giving away free Indian barbecue aprons.
So I want to thank everybody at GOAZ Motorcycles that helped me out today. Really good crew this morning. I appreciate their patience with me and all the bikes I tried out, and it was a lot of fun. So I appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching. Adios.